Hi guys, welcome back to the Fast Break. I'm your host Koketo, and we have a very special guest today. So we have a Cape Town Tigers player. He also played in the Summer League recently. He played basketball around the world. Mr. Evans Ganapamo, welcome and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, man. Thank you. We really appreciate you. So, guys, this episode is an episode of Dropping Dimes, which is a series that we created where we interview basketball enthusiasts, basketball professionals in the country. So, this could be players, coaches, people in marketing and corporate. And today, Evans has given us his time, which is amazing. So, we're going to get to know Evans, the person, and not just the basketball player, because we've seen your highlights. Now, we're trying to get to know you as the person. So let's start with your background. Please introduce yourself. Where you from? When did you start playing basketball?
My name is Evans Ganapamo. Started playing basketball when I was in France, when I was 4 years old. Um, I started playing basketball because my brother played basketball. So anything that he did, I followed. So if he would have played soccer, I would have played soccer. And then my love for the game just kept growing from there, a lot of things followed up after that.
All right, all right. And then obviously after France, you moved to the US. I think that's where you spent most of your childhood.
Right.
How would you compare the style of basketball from France and the US?
I was about 11 when I
Mm-hmm.
left um, when I left France, so it wasn't, it was more. When I look back at it, the United States is more of a one-on-one game, and France is more of a, I would say, team type of play. So I kind of learned both style of
Okay.
basketball. Yeah.
And then growing up, your role models, who did you look up to?
Man, well, growing up, my brother was my role
Oh wow.
model. My dad was also a role model, and then my future self was my main inspiration. Trying to just get better and trying to make myself happier in the, let's say, 10 years from now. So
And which position did you play when you started playing basketball? Has it always
when
been
I
the same
started,
position?
no, when I started playing basketball, I was actually a center. So I played center when I
Oh
started playing
wow.
basketball, and then when I got to the United States, that's when I started, working on my shot, working on my handles, and that's when I moved from the five to the one when I was in high school.
Okay. So wait, would you say you're a point guard now?
Well, not right now, but when I was in high school, I played point guard. Now
Oh,
I'm
okay.
more of a combo guard, so I'm more of a two. I can play the one here and there, but I'm not a point guard.
Oh, okay, okay. Now let's talk about your college career. So you played your first year in college for the University of New Orleans.
Right.
What made you choose this university?
So it was the only school that came to all my games. The head coach
Oh,
was at all
wow.
my games, and it was close to home, so I just felt like it was a good fit for me to go. It's not every player that has the head coach coming to all their games, so it was a big impact on my decision.
And how was the transition from high school to varsity? Because I mean, here in South Africa, right, we get most coaches, or like most systems, don't really prepare our players for varsity. I'd like to know if it's the same in the US.
For me, the speed was a little bit faster, but it wasn't a big jump for me because I was playing like outside with already college players, so I was kind of
Oh,
already in the
wow.
mix. So beside the injuries and all the stuff that happened, I was up to speed from the beginning.
Okay, actually, let's talk about your injuries because you did sustain a lot of injuries. And is it Staph? Is it Staph infection?
Yeah, so actually what happened, it was when I was working out, I had a cut
Mm-hmm.
on my leg, and I guess it got infected from one of the benches where I was working out, and it got bad. So
But okay, please explain what a staph infection is for the people who don't know, and would like to know like what was your mindset when you found out that
So
you had an infection?
first, the staph infection is like when you have an open wound, and then you have a kind of bacteria that goes into the open wound and start infecting it from the inside, pretty much. So there's
Yeah.
pretty much nothing you can do after once it get in there. There's nothing you can do. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
it kind of got crazy at that point. I had some numbness in my leg. I was paralyzed for a little bit. Couldn't really walk. So that was kind of a tough period for me. And yeah, I went through the treatment that took about 6 months, and after that, I had to get back. So it took me a little while to be back 100%. It kind of ruined my college experience. I would say.
But how were you mentally? So where was your mindset? Did you ever feel like giving up, or that was never an option for you?
No, I never. That was never an option for me to give up. I was always the type of person to take it one day at a time,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it was never a point where I was like, I'm done. So
Oh
I
wow.
guess that's what kept me. That's what kept me going.
Have you always envisioned yourself as a professional basketball player? Has that always been the dream, the goal?
100%. As soon as when I was a kid, my dad used to send me like basketball tapes of professional basketball players, and I
Mm-hmm.
used to always see myself as a professional basketball athlete. So I used to always try to put myself at a higher accountability to myself to make sure I get to that level.
So, what was your favorite team actually growing up, and whose game did you mimic the most or study?
I mean, I'm not gonna say because it's hard to mimic, obviously, but it was Kobe
Study, let's say.
Bryant. Kobe Bryant was the number one.
Okay.
Obviously nobody plays like Kobe Bryant. He's 101. But I was the guy that I really looked at throughout my career. Him and Tracy McGrady.
Okay. Please wait. Please fix your camera. We can't really see your face.
I'm trying to. All right, let's see. Just a little bit better.
Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. So, your favorite team that you enjoyed watching, I guess, the Lakers because of Kobe.
Yeah, that was the Lakers. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. And then I wanted to ask you. So, after the New Orleans, you decided to go to an HBCU.
Right.
Is it Prior A&M University, Prior View A&M University? What led you to that decision, and why did you choose Prior A&M?
Well, that too was off connections. I knew the head coach, and he was
Okay.
really wanting me to go there. So I talked to him the whole summer, and then we ended up making it happening. So that's why I choose
Okay.
to go to Prairie View.
That was a huge statement because right now, I mean, I don't know if you've been following the nil situation, which is name, image, and likeness, where players now are encouraged, especially top performing players top high school performing players are encouraged to go to HBCUs. How do you feel about
Mhm.
that?
Now I feel like it's great. It really empowers the culture, and I think that more and more athletes will benefit from going to those HBCUs at the end of the day because
Why
you
do you
get
say
more
that?
than
Why? Yeah.
well, you get more than just you get a. I feel like you get in some sort of better education that's more rounded towards your background going to
Wow.
HBCU. So going there for a whole 4 years, which I didn't get the chance to do, I feel like you can get a lot out of that.
Oh wow, okay. And then how do you feel about the no rule, which is where players can now college players can now profit from their name, image, and likeness, so they can be part of brand campaigns. They can profit from the YouTube channel. How do you feel about that?
I think it's great. I think it's great. I think it's good and bad at the same time because you got some athletes making more than what they're gonna make after they're done with college. So
Mm.
it's kind of hard. It's a hard take, but obviously you can't be mad for college athletes making money. So I'm definitely for it. I just feel like mentally they have to be they have to think a little bit different because when you get out of college, if you don't make it to the NBA, you're not going to be making. Some of these guys are making $200,000 a year. So if your first year, you're not going to make $200,000 a year playing professional basketball, and that's at every level in
Yeah.
Europe. So you really got to grind it out to get to that level. So I think it's good, but then there's some players who are not going to benefit from it, I think.
So do you think it's only beneficial to the top players?
No, because everybody's getting paid at the end of the day. They might not get paid as much, but they are
Yeah.
going to get paid. You know what I mean? So no, it's beneficial for everybody. If you have the right mindset, it's going to help you 100%.
Okay, and what advice would you give these athletes? Let's say now you have a talk, you're going to Private View A&M, and there's players there who are trying to make profit from their names. What advice would you give them?
As far as keeping the money, or as far as what do you mean?
So keeping the money, but also staying humble enough to get into the league.
Yeah, you just got to keep working because there's a lot of players who try to be in your shoes, and that money comes and goes faster. So you have to make sure you stay focused on your craft. You don't
Mm-hmm.
play basketball for the money. You play basketball because you love the game. But by doing that, you end up making money. So you have to keep things. You have to keep the priorities first. If
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah. LeBron James likes to say, keep the main thing the main thing.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, keep the main thing. The main thing. Exactly.
All right. So now heading into your professional career, you started playing in Germany.
Right.
Why? I'd like to know, why did you decide to play in Europe?
Well, me being French,
Mm-hmm.
I was, I feel like that was the best. The route is to go to Europe. Everybody's telling you go to Europe. This is where the best basketball is at after the NBA. So you go to Europe. So I got in touch with this agent, and he told me that I should go to Germany, which thinking back on it, I didn't think that was the best decision.
Oh,
But
wow.
so I went to Germany, and obviously it went great. I didn't play at a great level, but it went great. And yeah, so that's why I went to Germany pretty much. I didn't have a lot of options because I was kind of banged up from the injuries. I was a little
Mm,
hurt, so I didn't really have a great college,
yeah, career.
body of work. So it was kind of what I took.
All right. So a question just came up because you said Germany was the best decision you've made in your career, one of the best decisions you've made in your career. Why would you say that?
No, I said not one of the best.
Oh,
That's what I
not.
said.
Why not?
Because me being French, I could have went to France and played there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I feel like I had a lot more option than I actually thought at the time because I was kind of tunnel vision. If I would have really took a step back, I would have had a lot more option coming my way. I was just so in a rush to get a job instead of just
Oh,
instead of sitting down and thinking like, what can I do to, but things happen and you learn from it. So I can't be mad about the decisions that I made,
yeah.
5 years ago. So,
So what did you learn from that experience of playing in Germany?
man, just sometimes you just gotta go and get it. It's just it's you by yourself, and you gotta make a name for yourself. So nobody knows you. That's what you gotta do. You got a chip on your shoulder. So, and I still have that now. I got the same mentality that I still gotta prove myself every day. So that helped me a lot.
I mean, it did because it caught the attention of the Central African Republic, which is the country where both your parents are from. How did it
Mm-hmm.
feel being called up by a country that your parents are from and actually representing them nationally,
It's
internationally?
amazing. It was amazing. Both my parents were very happy. Just putting on the jersey is just amazing. You got your name on the bag. It says Central African Republic on the front. It's just an amazing feeling. You can't really describe playing for your country. It's just you have to do it to really experience it. You see the fans. It just feels like home. So
Do
yeah.
you identify as a French national or a Central African Republic national?
Central African Republic national.
Oh, okay, okay. Because I was about to ask if you had the chance to play for France or Central African Republic,
I would pick
what?
Central African Republic, to be honest. Even though
What?
France is better, I don't like playing
Mm-hmm.
for the big dog. I always like playing for the underdog. So that's kind of my mentality. So
But why?
I don't know. I just
Do you like the hard way, the hardest
it's just
way?
the red carpet. But at the end of the day, I don't want my life to be that I choose the easy way. I want it to be the hardest way possible. If that makes sense.
Okay. No, I do. So I get like you have your work ethic, you enjoy working
Yeah,
and
for
then
sure.
seeing the fruits of your labor. That's amazing. So then after playing for the African Republic, you then managed to go to France and play for, is it Paris basketball?
Yeah, Paris
Right.
basketball.
And then obviously the first year again you sustained injuries.
Yeah, well,
Goodness.
it's actually even crazier than it sounds. So I went to
Mm-hmm.
Paris. I signed with Paris, and then the following week I tear my ACL.
Goodness.
So it was just crazy. So
How did you feel mentally? Obviously physically you're in pain.
mentally, it was tough for the first week. It was tough, and
Mm-hmm.
then I just switched my mind up to what I already knew before to just take it one day at a time and just get to work, pretty much.
So again, giving up was never an option. So you were still like, I'm still
Nah,
going to pursue this thing.
100%, 100%.
Can I can I ask you a random question? It's not here, but I something just came up. Um, if you were not a basketball player, what would you be? What
I
would you
will
do for this?
be I will be whatever my brother started doing when he was young,
Which is
which is whatever he chose to do. I
what
don't.
is that?
I really don't know. Like, cause if my brother would play soccer, I would have played soccer. If my brother was a businessman, I would have been a businessman. If my brother was a doctor, I would have tried to be a doctor. If that makes sense.
Oh, okay. So he's like your ultimate role model.
Yeah, for sure. When you're young, when you're young and you have an older brother, we're 4 years
Yeah.
apart. Kind of you want to be like him, pretty much. So
Okay. Okay. But then, because of your resiliency, you managed to, recover from your injury and then you played for Paris and your team actually managed to move to the first division, which was amazing. But
yeah,
then you got a call from South Africa, Cape Town, saying, "Hi, Evans, we'd like your help." And you decided to leave Paris again for the Cape Town Tigers. You left the
right,
first division in France
right.
to come play here. Why?
Well, it's a lot of things that comes into it. But the first thing is that my grandparents are actually South African.
Oh, wow. Really?
So
That's very interesting.
my mom told me that, and that played a part too.
Mm,
And then I heard about the BAL, that was a new league
yeah.
sponsored by the NBA. So as far as the visibility, it doesn't get more better than that. It doesn't get better than that. So and then there's Cape Town. It's nice. Obviously, we're not in Cape Town right now, but it's it's Cape Town Tigers. Beautiful weather. In Paris, it's cold all the time. I don't like the cold.
Oh,
So, and then I wanted to do something different. So it was it kind of just happened in the flow because I really waited to find the best situation, and I feel like that was the best situation for me to really show my talent and have somebody to just let me go and do my thing
yeah.
and be in a good environment with people that are trying to make you grow and make you a better player.
And how was your adjustment from Paris to Cape Town, as in the system, the style of play of basketball, and your
It
position?
was easy. It was very easy because the style of play in Cape Town is to play fast, and that's what I
Hmm.
like. So it was very easy, especially with the players that I had and that I have this year. It's very easy to play with them.
How would you compare the style of basketball in France compared to South Africa?
It's more structured in France.
Oh, okay.
You got a coach that tell you that he wants to do this, and if you don't do it, then you just don't play. It doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. If you don't do it, you
Yeah.
just not.
Do you
So
do you enjoy that style of coaching, or do you like more free roam?
I like more free room, but I mean, yeah, I definitely like more free room for sure.
Oh, okay, but within a structure, obviously.
Yeah, because I mean, basketball you have to have a structure to win games. You can't just be
Yeah.
going crazy. So yeah, of course,
Oh, okay. So I guess Cape Town Tigers, that was the perfect match for you.
for sure, for sure.
All right. And then you guys, actually, I forgot to congratulate you. You guys are one step closer to making it to the BAL next season. Congratulations.
Thank
Um,
you.
sure thing. But then last season, you guys unfortunately got eliminated in the quarterfinals. I'd like to know, how was your experience in that league and what did you learn?
Well, first of all, it's a very aggressive league. People think it's the best team of every single country in Africa. So you bound to see some talent. And then the
Mm-hmm.
recruiting was done very well from BAL team. So I think the level of basketball was pretty high. So I think that as a team we weren't ready. I think we had the pieces that we needed to win, but we weren't ready really together to
Oh.
really perform at our level. Because I really believe that if we would have played at our level, we would have won last year, 100%.
Would you say that you guys are on that level right now?
I feel like we getting close to it. I feel like
Oh, okay.
we're better than last year for many reasons, and I think we're going to be a lot better this year for sure.
And I don't know if I should ask you this question, if that's going to get you in trouble. If you don't want to answer, please let me know. But
All right.
how far do you think you guys are going to get in the next Basketball African League?
Well, I mean, if we play to the best of our abilities, and everybody plays like we're supposed to play, I think there is no reason why we shouldn't be playing the last game in the BL season.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Shout out to you guys supporting South Africa. Obviously, Fast Break is supporting you guys.
Thank you.
And then, sure thing, sure thing. I wanted to ask you something now. Oh, yes. Recently, in the summer, you got invited by the Milwaukee Bucks to
Mm,
play in the Summer League. How did you even get that call? How did that even
man,
happen?
well, it's everything. It happened just very fast. I feel like one day I was playing in the BL, and the second day I was on the plane to go to Milwaukee. So it just happened very
Quick.
very fast. I got a call from the president of the BL letting me know that I got invited to the summer league, and everything just happened from there.
And how was the Summer League?
I mean, obviously it was just it's a dream come true when you're a kid and you want to play in the NBA, being around all those nice facilities and all these great players. So it was definitely a dream come true. I learned a lot from there. And yeah, man, I'm just happy that I had the opportunity to be part of the summer league for
Yeah.
sure.
What did that experience teach you about yourself?
Well, well, it taught me that I can play at almost every level in the world,
Oh,
and
wow.
that I need to keep working to reach my full potential.
Okay. And do you think that the BAL is a nice bridge to get into the NBA? Like
For
just to bridge
sure.
the gap between the African, is it style and because we're not on the same level, right? So do you think the BAL actually bridges that gap?
Yeah, I think it does just because there's so much NBA influence. So I think
Okay.
it's bound to happen that somebody makes it to the NBA from the BL. It's just a question of time. So no, I think the NBA is doing a great job trying to foster talent from Africa, and the BL is the direct bridge to the NBA from Africa.
Do you still have dreams of making it to the NBA?
Like I said, I'm just trying to get better every day, and whatever that takes me, then I'll be happy with that.
All right, all right. Um, we have like a few rapid fire questions before we wrap up this interview. Are you ready for them?
I'm ready.
All right. So, who's your basketball goat and
Kobe
why?
Bryant. Kobe Bryant because he mastered what Michael Jordan did.
Oh goodness. So, top 5 NBA players of all time
Kobe Bryant,
as number
Michael
1.
Jordan.
Wait, is this in order?
This is my order. Well, this is my personal order.
Yes. So Kobe Bryant is number 1. All right. Yeah, and then Michael Jordan,
Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, LeBron James.
Magic Johnson.
Kevin Durant,
Oh, hectic. Okay.
and Steph Curry.
And Steph Curry.
Steph Curry.
Do you think Steph Curry is the greatest point guard of all time?
It's hard to say because I don't really count him as a point guard, but he plays that position.
Okay. But who would you say who is the best point guard of all time? Just out of
The best point
interest
guard of
sake.
all time, Magic Johnson.
Okay. No, that's I was just trying to get that.
Okay.
All right. And then if you had the chance to play in any era in the NBA, which era would it be and why?
Um, Probably Michael Jordan era.
Really? Why?
Just, just because I want to see it for myself. I want to see how good he was for myself.
But
I just
what
want to
interests
see it
you about that era?
because he just dominated so easily. So I wanted to see if he was that good or if the era was not as good. If that makes sense.
Oh, okay. No, I get it. I get it.
Because I know that Kobe Bryant era was very tough, very tough. So I haven't seen Michael Jordan play live.
Okay, fair, fair. So you have highlights. That's all you have.
Say it again.
Are you saying you just saw him from highlights?
Yeah, exactly. I seen all the
Okay,
highlights and it looked amazing, obviously. So, but in person or I have never seen him a live game, so I don't know.
okay.
But he has to be in the top five for every single category for sure.
Yeah, it makes sense. And then what's the next question? So, out of all the cities you've lived in, which one is your favorite and why?
Cape Town,
Really? Why?
because you got the beach,
Mm-hmm.
you got the mountains, you got the wineries, you got the beautiful views. It's like, and then you have the great weather. It's like you have the best of everything in one place. It's hard to beat that. So it has to be Cape
How
Town.
would how would you compare Cape Town to Joburg? Because I understand that you're in Joburg right now.
I don't like Johannesburg personally because
Is it
it's
the
more of the
city life?
city, and I don't really like the city too much. I'm more of a nature type of person,
Mm-hmm.
but it's okay. It's a nice city. I wouldn't put it in my top five.
Oh, okay. And then last question. Okay, no, second last question. What advice would you give to a young Evans trying to play professional basketball?
Man, just keep working. Don't think about the future too far ahead. Just think about the next day and what you can do that day to get better. Pretty much. Don't think too
Can
far
I?
ahead.
So can I ask you something? Because most people actually like always say work hard, stay focused. But does network actually play a part? Because you also mentioned that in Germany, your network actually helped you to get to play European basketball.
So no, not necessarily. So I feel like when you work hard, you just get luckier. I think that's how it happened
Mm,
because I didn't know anybody when I left the United States. When I went to Germany, I didn't know anybody. I just went to France because I needed someone to practice. So I practiced
okay.
with Paris basketball, right? And during the practice, they were like, "Well, hold on, we don't want you to leave. We want to sign you." So that switched
Oh
I'm
wow.
practice getting a 3-year contract. So that I feel like the harder you work, the luckier
The
you get.
lucky. Oh, that's a quotable. Thank you for that. And then lastly, when it's all said and done, what do you want to be remembered for?
Man, I want to be remembered with somebody who never cheated the game. Um, hmm, I'm still working on that.
Are you still thinking about your legacy?
Yeah, I'm still working on that.
All right. No,
But
thanks again
definitely
for
somebody who helped this country, for sure.
which country? South Africa.
Central African Republic. But I love South
Oh.
Africa. That's my second home.
Actually, have you learned? Do you only speak English here, or have you learned like some of the local languages that we have?
Not so much. Not so
Do you
much.
know which language they speak in the Western Cape? Like the
Zulu, right?
It's actually Xhosa in the Western
Okay.
Cape.
I think some of my
Zulu
teammates.
is, yeah, so Zulu is in Joburg. Do you at least
Mhm.
understand a bit?
Absolutely not.
That's okay. Thanks again for your time, Evans. So really enjoyed this interview. Where can people catch you on socials?
Well, on Instagram, I am Evans G, so that's easy.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's about it. I'm not really on Twitter. I have a Twitter, but I'm not on there. And I have a Facebook,
Okay.
but I'm not on there. So it's really
All
just
right.
Instagram.
So, guys, please, if you guys want to follow Evans again on Instagram at I am Evans G, and beyond Instagram, watch his games, watch the Cape Town Tigers, watch them actually go to the BAL and hopefully win the tournament for South Africa.
Hopefully.
Thanks again,
Hopefully.
Evans.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Sure thing. We are done.